Hi everyone, welcome back to Memories Dogma, where things don't make sense and we get mad.
Yeah, so, right, it's, we had that, police officer girl, and she sacrificed herself so that we could escape, by, collaborating with police, the fucking traitor, and also the magical girls were stuck fighting Blade Arm Guy. And, so we're back just to the original three in the group.
Happy ending. Reyna and I carry Cockeroo back to the back alleys, avoiding people as much as we can. Our heavy breathing echoes loudly underneath the dawning sky. I glance at Reyna, who's running next to me. Are you alright? I'm fine. After the incident at the Tokyo Graduate Research University, we decided it's best to put as much distance between us and Fuchu City as possible. But every time we try and leave the city, we find policemen on the lookout and have to turn them back. Looks like they started roping off all entrances and exits to Fuchu City. They're on high alert now. We thought of taking a train from a station other than Fuchu City. But the stations were all equipped with security cameras and it would be nigh impossible to avoid them all. And even if we could, we'd still need to use our MRDs to authorize ticket purchases. Well, it didn't seem to do anything last time.
Yeah, they start existing now. It's convenient for the plot.
Yeah, just use cash money.
I know that, I think it's like Sweden, is it? That, like, they're trying to phase out cash money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the future they made it.
How do tourists spend money there then?
They have to use debit or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you're paying with cash money, it's like I guess people assume you're like dealing with like black market stuff or like selling drugs or whatever to get the money.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And even if we could, we'd still need to use our MRDs. Okay. And if we managed to somehow solve the verification problem too, we'd stand out too much bringing an injured Cockeroo onto the train. Oops.
Yeah, you scrolled up instead.
Oopsie. So we dropped the idea of escaping by train. Night falls as we continue to run around Fuchu City.
Because that's brilliant when you're bleeding under your leg.
Hiroki, I think you should take a break soon. No, I'm fine. So as long as there's no guarantee that man's still not chasing us, we need to keep running. How long can we keep this up? Why does that guy keep showing up before us anyway? Cockeroo moans softly. Does it still hurt? Huh, a small cut like this? Just rub some spit on it and it'll heal right away. Cockeroo tries to crack a joke like always, but his words come out weak and laced with pain. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see Cockeroo's left thigh, the one that got cut up earlier. His blood has seeped into his jeans, dyeing them a grotesque hue.
He's not wearing jeans, he's wearing pants. Fucking another mistake this series is making, you know? First they had the misspelling of, like, fusion or whatever it was earlier.
This really isn't something you can joke about, but even if I tell him that, Cockeroo will just deny it and try to act cheerful. I simply shut my mouth and adjust Cockeroo's position to make him easier to carry. Reyna exasperatedly says, "You're not fine at all, Cockeroo." No, it's fine, really. As expected, Reyna's not buying it. If you say so. This way, Hiroki. Reyna suddenly takes Cockeroo and drags him a little to the left. Hey, Reyna. Just follow me. Perplexed by Reyna's actions, I don't say anything. Reyna drags us over to the left side of a narrow alley. There's a tiny gap in between two tall buildings, and we're just barely able to squeeze into. Rest here for a bit. No buts, okay?
Well, that's unfortunate.
Guess I can't fool you, Reyna. Even Cockeroo gives up before Reyna's stubbornness. We slowly set Cockeroo down on the ground and then sit down ourselves, making sure we're not visible from the main street. I feel the tiredness start draining away the moment I sit down on the asphalt. Reyna stares at me for a while before muttering a single ah, as if she just remembered something and takes a small package out from her jacket pocket. Aw, as I thought, it's already melted. What's that? Chocolate. Sugar's good for you when you're tired, right? Reyna offers me a piece. Looks like each piece is wrapped in its own individual wrapper.
本当はもっとちゃんとしたものを食べた方がいいんだけど。っていうか、溶けちゃってるけど。
We should really be eating something better than this, and well, this is already melted. It's good enough for me, thanks. I give Reina a small nod and take the chocolate. I can tell just from feeling the wrapper that the chocolate inside is melted. It's just like Reina to worry about something like that, though I personally don't care if it's melted or not. I carefully remove the wrapper, making sure none of the chocolate spills out, and I put a piece in my mouth. As the chocolate dissolves in my mouth, the sweetness of it spreads throughout my body. I don't think chocolate has ever tasted this good. It feels like it's been ages since I've last gotten any sleep or have had a proper meal. It's because you're so tired. It's natural to feel that way. Reina unwraps another piece of chocolate and offers it to Kakeru, with a gesture that seems to say, "Here you go." Kakeru takes the chocolate and puts it into his mouth with grimace. We need to get Kakeru treated soon. I nod and bend my right thumb as if I'm holding a card in my hand. The camera in the MRD picks up the motion and puts a card-size AR display in my hand, showing my home screen. I flick my thumb and the screen swaps to one of the large amount of icons lined up. I scroll until I get to the Maps application. I touch the icon with my thumb, and after a short loading screen, a 3D map of the area is projected into the air. I tap the magnifying glass in the upper right corner, bringing up a search feature. A text field pops up, along with a virtual keyboard directly underneath. If you match your keystrokes to the keys in the virtual keyboard, it'll type the letters you tap. And this isn't just in MRDs either, but for looking up books in a bookstore, filling out government forms, and all sorts of other things. There's no tactile response that makes it feel like you're typing on a real keyboard, but it doesn't take up any space and can be deployed anywhere. Overall, it's far more convenient than a real keyboard. I search the keywords hospital and surgery, and a number of red dots start popping up on the 3D map. Okay, I think you know clearly well you can't just walk in there.
Just dump them.
No. Like, they're gonna ask some questions. And you two are kind of wanted criminals.
Yeah.
I've turned off my GPS functionality, so my MRD is not able to pinpoint my location, but it estimates us at a pretty far point from the station. From the looks of it, we're about 7 kilometers southeast of the university we escaped from yesterday. Yesterday? Where the hell did you sleep?
They didn't, from what it was implied.
Oh. Oh, yeah, they did. Never mind. We only managed to get this far even after a whole night of walking. Depressed at how little ground we covered, I've nevertheless continued looking for a hospital we can send Kakeru to. There's 2 hospitals with 1 kilometer radius that have a surgery ward, but none of them are open until 9.
I don't think hospitals work that way.
No! Hospitals don't open and close like that.
Well, I mean, like, so there's like if you're at like a specific like clinic of it, like, okay, let's say you wanted to get like tested for like, you need like a urine sample tested, or like, okay, you know, you need like a blood sample tested. Like, yeah, like, okay, the blood lab opens at 9 a.m., but like a surgery, like, this is an ER situation. It's always open because people don't just go like, oh no, I'm injured. I'll just put pressure on it until 9 in the morning. No, sorry, that doesn't fucking work that way. Your blood test can wait till 9 in the morning, not your fucking, you know, cut open leg. Like, this is ER shit.
I checked the time on my MRD. It's 7:48, and it'll be a little bit over an hour before the hospital opens. Is there anyone else that can provide first aid? Wait up. Kakeru grabs my hand from stop me from using my MRD and looks at me with a strange expression. The hospital's gonna have tons of people, and I bet the waiting room will have the news going too. And I'm pretty sure you're gonna need some identification to get help at a hospital, dumbass.
Take him to the front fucking entrance and leave. I'm sure the guy with a bloody leg, like, you know, like red soaked jeans, will be like, oh shit, this is an emergency. Let's go help him. Like, you know, you don't gotta wait in the fucking waiting room for shit like this.
It's too dangerous for you or Reina-chan to walk in there. I knew that without having to being told. I glance over at Reina, noticing my gaze. Reina nods. Reina knew it too. But just like how Kakeru couldn't leave me when I went out to fight the guy, I can't leave Kakeru behind now. That was the first time I'd ever seen Kakeru so frank with his feelings. Even when Serrano died, Kakeru had acted as cheerful as always. Always joking with that cheerful expression. That's Kakeru. Honestly, it kind of pissed me off sometimes just how cheerful Kakeru always acted. And well, I was just a little jealous of how he was always able to stay like that. Every time I try to kill myself, I always find myself waking up in a hospital bed. Kakeru had called the ambulance for me every time. And every time I woke up, he was there typing away on his keyboard. And he'd just casually start talking as if he'd just run into me on the street. To say that I never realized how he truly felt, I know now that it would be a lie. I just pretended not to notice so I could wallow in despair and self-pity. Now see, I've been a pathetic fool. I really think they could have handled this whole suicidal protagonist a lot better.
Yeah, because he kind of varies between having a motivation and then whenever it's convenient saying, I don't care if I die, like...
Yeah.
Like, he clearly wants to do things, and you have to be alive to do things, so, like, you do care if you die.
And Kakeru had always been watching over me, making sure I never actually killed myself. Put his own grief aside for me. When I tried to do a suicidal rush against that guy, he was the one who stopped me.
By punching you in the face and almost getting you killed.
So I'm going to have to be the one to save Kakeru this time. Do you think we could leave you next to the hospital somewhere, Kakeru, then you could walk the rest of the way yourself? Come on, we really aren't in any position to do that.
But just interrupt, like, but speaking of the idea of, like, they could have wrote this better, I mean, honestly, like, if they just had cut out, like, all the bullshit blade arm lightning fist shit and, like, you know, like, oh, the fucking magical girls, like, they could have just had some guy, it's like, oh, like, he's like a secret government assassin, and he could shoot Kakeru in the leg, and stuff like that.
No, it's not anime enough.
Like, you could still have similar situations doing a lot of these same, like, the good plot points without getting it, like, convoluted into stupid, like, X-Men bullshit and, like, fucking, like, you know, like, Sailor Moon crap.
Kakeru stubbornly refuses to budge. There's still something left we need to do, isn't there? You and Reina-chan can't hack their system, right? Well, no, we can't, but... We've already come this far, there's no way I'm going to throw in the towel now. Well, it's true that we still have a goal, and Kakeru is indispensable in achieving it. You do have a point, Kakeru. Let's try and think of another place we can rest for a bit and see to Kakeru's wounds. Even just basic first aid will help immensely. Fine, I give up. You'll stay. Haha, well, as long as you get it. But where could we go that would work? A place where we could sit down and treat Kakeru. Mine and Reina's homes are definitely out of the question. They're going to Serrano's sister's place.
Yeah, I've been there once before, so...
The police are going to be waiting for us there for sure. My house is probably no good either. Indeed, we can't go back to the college. The only real places we can get into without needing to identify ourselves via MRD would be a net cafe or a karaoke place. Those facilities all still have surveillance cameras. If anyone reported us, we'd have nowhere to run to. The sky is starting to brighten. Looks like morning's here. With every morning that passes, the moment Serrano's memories will be digitomed gets closer and closer. Kakeru and Reina aren't complaining at all, even though they're probably exhausted. We're too worn out to keep running around trying to avoid people for much longer. What can we do? What do we do? Isn't there anyone that can help us? That's it. There is one person we can turn to. She was the one who started worrying about us when we became wanted men. And Moe Girl. Serrano's only family member. Aoi-san. Well, look who called it.
Yeah.
When I mutter her name, Kakeru slowly closes his eyes. Aoi-san, huh? Realistically speaking, we have no one else to turn to. But if we ask Aoi-san for help, that means we'll be getting her mixed up in this mess.
Knowing this series, she's probably like a fucking mutant with like a mace for her left toe or something.
I'm sure Reina and Kakeru are thinking the same thing as they furrow their brows at the mention of Aoi-san. It's true we can trust her, but... just because we can rely on her doesn't necessarily mean we should, though. Back when we visited her house, Aoi-san said it was okay to ask her for anything. I don't think this is what she had in mind, though. But I'm sure she didn't say that with a situation like this in mind. We don't know when that man will show up again. In the worst case scenario, Aoi-san might be put in danger. The police have to know about Aoi-san, too. If she chooses to shelter us and they find out, then she might end up being labeled a criminal, too. I have to ask myself, is it really worth putting Serrano's beloved sister in danger to save ourselves? I'm gonna save, because...
they've been spamming choices at us recently.
They're not gonna do it. I don't think they'll do it. After thinking about it for a bit, I voiced my opinion. No choice. It's true that by doing this, we might be putting Aoi-san in danger. But right now, I don't think there's anyone else we can turn to. Let's ask her to hide us until we can at least get your leg treated and figure out our next course of action. We'll try to cause her as little trouble as possible, I promise. We'll leave as fast as possible. Reina, Kakeru, please. Reina and Kakeru lapse into thought, and after a while, Kakeru finally opens his mouth. You're serious, aren't you? Yeah. I look Kakeru right in the eyes. Alright. I agree with your plan. Thank you, Reina. Kakeru looks at me curiously when I thank Reina. I never thought the day would come when you'd ask me something so seriously. Haha. Fine, let's do it.
Look at them taking the same fucking pose.
Yeah. Kakeru. I don't know how to say this very well, but I suddenly started to feel embarrassed. This will be the first time I've ever said these words to Kakeru. Nevertheless, they need to be said right now. Thank you, Kakeru.
You've never said that once to your best fucking friend? What an ungrateful little piece of shit. I want him to die right now. Like,
yeah, I mean, you say...
can we go load a fucking save where he just fucking dies? Like, I say thanks to, like, oh, like, the person at, like, a fucking store. Like, here's your sandwich you ordered, sir. Thank you. You know, like, this is, like, your fucking friend.
You say thank you to me all the time.
Yeah, I insult him all the fucking time. You guys say thanks to him. Like, this guy's a little piece of shit. Like... he probably doesn't, like, thank his parents when they do shit for him.
I think he doesn't like his parents.
Probably doesn't, but, like, doesn't mean you don't say thanks to when they do basic fucking shit.
Haha, man, hearing that from you feels really creepy. Saying it does, too. Kakeru's laughter is infectious, and I smile, too. I feel like the gloom that has settled over my heart has cleared up just a little. If you two are done, I'd like to get going. Alright, let's go. We all head towards Aoi-san's house. Maybe it's because it's still early morning, but we managed to make it to Aoi-san's house without being spotted by anyone.
With nothing but a trail of blood leading everyone exactly where we went this whole time.
But now that we're in front of her gates, I hesitate to ring the doorbell. If we go in right now, we'll be getting her involved in something dangerous. Even Reina, who unhesitatingly rang the doorbell last time, is looking reluctant. Kakeru, who's on my back right now, is silent as well.
Possibly because he died.
But the longer we stand here, the greater the chance someone might find us. This was my idea, so I'll be the one to drag Aoi-san into our problems as well. I slowly raise my hand to the doorbell. The sound of the doorbell echoes loudly as I ring it. Worried someone might have heard, I once again look around to make sure there's nobody here. It's okay, there's no one else around. When the bell stops ringing, I silently stand there, staring at the intercom. The silence stretches on for what feels like an eternity. Aoi-san, please answer. Hello? It's the same voice I heard a few days ago. It's Kusahara. Huh? Hiroki? Sorry, we didn't know who else. Wait right there. Before I can even finish talking, Aoi-san hangs up the intercom. A moment later, the front door opens and Aoi-san comes running out. Hiroki, I was so worried about you. Aoi-san takes my hand and grasps it tightly. What happened to Kakeru's leg? Aoi-san notices Kakeru's injury and grimaces. Just a scratch? It is not just a scratch. Look at all that blood. Hurry up. All of you, get inside. I'm sorry because we came here. Now that you're involved too, you might be in danger. I know we're causing a lot of trouble, but... Don't be stupid. Aoi-san looks angry for a moment before her usual calm expression returns to her face. You don't have to say anything. Aoi-san. Until this misunderstanding gets resolved, you're all welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Thank you so much. Now hurry up and get in. I exchange glances with Reina and she nods. Aoi-san didn't turn us away. It feels as if our situation is finally improving a little. The kitty room. After Aoi-san tends to Kakeru's wounds, we go up to Serrano's room. Well, I guess we should sit down for now. We kept Kakeru down on a cushion near the bed and sit opposite to him. Reina naturally sits down to my right. So let me guess, the reason we're in Serrano's room is because they don't have a background for any other room in the house.
And there's a lot of cute kitties.
Cute kitties?
Yeah, those ones you put sunglasses on before.
Yeah, because they're cutie kitties.
Yeah, put that image up, Future Christian.
Maybe.
Alternatively, you can just check on his Twitter, just scroll down a lot. No, and in a few years, that'll be like really shitty advice.
Yeah.
There'll be like a lot of Scooby-Doo memes and fucking dumb comments screen capped.
Assuming that I don't get deleted from YouTube by then.
Yeah.
Because who knows? Could happen.
Yeah, too controversial.
Too controversial. Too many moe girls. Reina naturally sits down to my right. It's really weird for all of us to be in Serrano's room again. Yeah. Kakeru stretches out his injured leg. He spends a long time looking like he's trying to find the right words to say, but eventually he just hangs his head. Kakeru. Also, I'm just noticing for Reina, her coat has like this long little buckle or something.
Yeah, it's almost like kind of like a trench coat length flap at the back or something.
Yeah.
But like the rest of it isn't, yeah. Seems like a strange decoration because like with visual novel characters, you mostly design them from the front.
Yeah. For once, Kakeru is silent. Seeing him like this, I become unable to say anything either, and remain silent. Reina looks at us both and keeps talking like normal. We're lucky that Aoi-san was willing to take us in. Yeah, I hope everyone else is okay. My thoughts turn to Akane, Emma, and Haruna. I can't believe we were so pathetic. Now we finally found a place we can relax for a bit. I can finally start thinking about what happened to them. Oh yeah, I'd almost forgotten, but Haruna gave us her MRD contact info. Maybe I should send her a message. I'm considering it as I begin to power up my MRD, but those policemen who came after us were definitely not proper policemen. So it's probably reasonable to assume that Haruna is still being detained by those people. They might be expecting us to try and contact her. In which case, it's probably best not to try contacting her for at least a few days. I take my hand off my MRD, deciding against calling Haruna. I want to believe that Akane and Emma managed to run away, but I'm still worried. Jesus Christ, Those two weren't doing too bad against that guy, and Haruna's been given combat training as a police officer, so she should be fine too. If the three of us who had the lowest chances of getting out alive managed to escape, I'm sure they're all fine too. If something happens to them, no, let's not think about that. As long as we're still chasing after the truth behind the JCO, I'm sure we'll all meet again somewhere. And when we do, we'll all share a lively meal like we did back in the truck. That's certainly true. I really hope they're okay. I'm sure they are. While we converse, Kakeru looks as if his thoughts are somewhere else entirely. Unconcerned, Reina still addresses him like usual. Kakeru, how does your leg feel? Oh, Aoi-san did a good job treating it, so I'm sure it'll recover soon enough.
Next time she could wear a nurse outfit while she does them, just saying.
Kakeru smiles faintly at her, before lapsing back into silence. You need to relax or it won't heal. Hiroki, you too. Since we're safe for the moment, why not sleep for a bit?
In the same bed. Just saying she's a Fujoshi.
You do have a point. Reina's casual attitude believes her concern, but I really don't feel like sleeping right now. It's not there. Something that should be in our world is noticeably absent. I'm sure the reason Kakeru is silent is because he feels it too. Oh yeah, I activate my MRD to call forth the one other person that belongs here. Before long, Serrano's figure materializes. Huh? This is my room, isn't it? I remember this character. The plot was about her at some point.
Yeah, no, it was about Blade Arm guy. I think you're getting it confused. I mean, her hair is red and his blade arm is red, but, like, they're different characters.
Serrano's able to tell where she is with just a glance. I gently put my MRD down on the cushion to the left of me. Serrano sits down on the cushion. What? Now she's just full-sized?
Do you think the holograms in this world have any fucking rules? Like, aside from, like, you can't physically make, like, a hologram blade and stab a motherfucker with it, I think there's no real rules beyond that.
And now, Aoi will walk in and have a breakdown, and we'll have a sappy little scene.
Yeah.
I explain everything that happened at Tokyo's Graduate Research Institute to Serrano. I say, yeah, I'm sure everyone's okay. Serrano examines her surroundings. It feels like it's been ages since the three of us have gathered here like this. Serrano smiles nostalgically as she examines her room. That's where Kakeru-kun would always sit. He was always so absorbed in whatever he was doing in his PC. The laptop. I got confused because the voice acting said PC.
Yeah, okay.
Hiro-kun really liked sitting against that wall whenever he was deep in thought about something.
So never.
And now Reina-chan's here with us too. It feels nice to have her here. Yeah, this room really feels like your room, Serrano. I like it. Really? I'm so glad you like it. Despite her words, Serrano looks around sadly. It's the same scene with the same people. The furniture's in the same place it always is, and things are scattered around the room like usual. Serrano's here, Kakeru's here, and I'm here, and our new friend Reina's here too. Everything's as it should be. And yet, it's not. Something's fundamentally different from before. All of us gathering here like this only serves to further emphasize the point. Kakeru and Serrano are both looking in different directions, completely silent. After staring at me for a while, Reina suddenly straightens up. What's wrong? I'm sorry. I should have realized what was going on with the JCO sooner.
どうにかして止められていれば、ひろきを巻き込んでしまったり、かけるが怪我をしたりすることもなかった。
If I had, maybe I could have stopped them. Then you wouldn't have gotten wrapped up in all of this, Hiroki, and Kakeru wouldn't be injured right now. Reina bites her lips, distressed.
私の落ち度がこの結果を生んでしまった。
This all happened because of my mistakes.
それは違うんじゃないか。お前は人を助けたくて研究を進めてたんだ。
You know that's not true, right? You were just researching ways to help people, weren't you?
でも結果は人を助けるとこ
But
ろ。
instead of helping them, I ended up hurting them.
マイクロチップのことも自分で何とかしようとして、結局そのことで。
Even the microchips, it's because I tried to do something about their theft that you got mixed up in all this, Hiroki.
私の感知してないところでだって、きっと多くの人たちをすでに巻き込んでしまったはず。
And because it took me so long to realize what was happening, so many other people have become involved too.
それはお前の研究を悪用した奴らのせいだろ。
That's not your fault. It's the fault of the people who abused your research.
私たちの研究を悪用しようとする人間が現れる日がいつか必ず来る。だから
One day, people will surely try to use our research for evil. That's why you need to make sure it's not abused.
もう長くない。
When he realized he wasn't long for this world, Sensei started saying that quite often.
確かに自分の研究が誰かを助けることにつながればいいとは思ってた。
I certainly did want my research to be of help to people,
でも
but thinking back on it now,
私は
all I was really thinking about was whether or not I was living up to Sensei's expectations.
私は自分を過信してた。自分は周囲にいる誰よりもうまくできてるって本気で思ってた。
I had too much faith in myself. I thought I could do better than everyone else. No, that I was doing better than everyone else.
どうして気づけなかったの？
How could I fail to realize? Reina starts trembling. The words Professor Toya left in his disciple in his final years. Those words alone are enough to see just how much he trusted Reina. But precisely because she was trying to live up to those expectations, she was too late in realizing the evil intentions of those around her. Reina looks like she's about to cry as she hugs her knees.
Settle down, Christian.
What?
You know you want to see Reina cry.
So?
I'm just saying you're a sucker for anime girls crying.
It's cute.
Yeah, that's what you say.
But those expectations are too big for one girl to fulfill on her own.
Especially when she's like 5 feet tall.
I've had times where I've thought, why didn't I realize it back then too?
これは自分の責任なんだって。
I thought it's my responsibility for not realizing it before too.
うまくまとまらない。
I don't really know how to say it, but... Reina's not looking at me, but it feels like she's quietly waiting for me to keep going. I carefully choose my words before continuing.
これは自分の責任なんだなんて考えてた俺は。
But now I think, the me that thought it's all my fault was terribly conceited. Conceited.
ある意味悔しいけど、本人がどんなにそうであることを望んでても、自分だけがその全ての責任の対象になれるなんてこと。
It's impossible to admit, but no matter how much you may want to believe it's all your fault, it's impossible to take on all of that responsibility by yourself. It's true that things have taken a turn for the worse and that some part of it is Reina's fault. Maybe if someone had been there to lend her a hand, things might have ended differently. Wait, things might have entered differently. Does that even make sense?
I think that's a typo. Because, I mean, I think you read it correctly, and then they just didn't notice it.
But it's still not too late to lend a hand. I've been saved many times by Kakeru, Serrano, and Reina, too, on my way here.
だから、先生との約束のことも、今こうなってるのはレイナ一人のせいじゃない。
That's why your promise with the professor and the current state of things isn't your fault alone.
と俺は思う。
At least, that's what I think. One person can't shoulder all the responsibility. If they think they can, then they're not aware enough of their own surroundings. Today's events taught me that.
そうだよ。それに、レイナちゃんの研究のおかげで、少なくとも一人、
That's right.
助かってるやつを俺は知ってる。
Besides, I know of at least one person who's been saved thanks to your research, Reina-chan. Kakeru follows up after me. It's true. It's only thanks to Reina's microchip that I'm here right now.
レイナちゃんはとても責任感が強いんだね。
You have a strong sense of responsibility, Reina-chan.
そんなこと。
That's not true.
レイナちゃん見てたらわかるよ。
No, you do. I can tell.
大切な人との約束のために今まで
So you've worked hard to try and protect the promise you made with your professor.
それは簡単にできること。
It's not an easy thing to do. Reina looks a bit surprised at Serrano's words, but then...
ありがとう。
Thank you, everyone. Her expression brightens just a little. I know it's not an easy thing to accept all at once. Instead of regretting what you could have or should have done, it's more important to think about how to do better from now on. It's easy to understand that in my head. But still, we're faced with a reality we don't want to accept, so we can't stop thinking about the things we weren't able to do to prevent it from happening. However, it looks like Serrano's words are at least able to give Reina some peace. I'm a little relieved and also a little surprised. The way Serrano talked to Reina was so human. When you call her name, she responds with her usual gentle smile. I keep forgetting this isn't the real Serrano sitting here next to me. But at the same time, I'm constantly reminded that she's nothing but an amalgamation of data. Why did Serrano say we shouldn't meet anymore back then? If I could just find the answer to that question, I might be able to accept that she's no longer alive. No, maybe I won't be able to then. I might just end up regretting not saying anything to her even more, and blame myself all over again. Even then, I need to know. Now then. Kakeru takes his laptop out of his bag. Now you're still injured. You need to rest. It's fine. Besides, no one but me can do this anyway. Oh, come on. I'm sure if you taught me, even I could. Just let me do this. Kakeru obstinately refuses to hand over his laptop. I'm sure Kakeru is wrestling with his own thoughts too. So I decide to let him be. And besides, even though I was gonna say even I could do it, I already know it's not something I can learn so quickly. There's something I want to reconfirm, Kakeru. Do you mind pulling up all the reports that have my name on it? You got it. I can't get them all because I wasn't able to download them all, but I can bring up all the ones I've got already downloaded.
That sure won't be a plot point in the future.
Yep. Kakeru brings up an AR display with his MRD. It shows a bunch of square icons. Kakeru operates his MRD, and the icons are replaced by a list of files. In list view, you can see all of the file extensions and the last modified dates of the files. In addition, you can see the file names along with a date and something that looks like an ID. Is this all of the experiment reports? Mostly, but there's some emails and text files in there too. I really need to organize all of this. Thanks, Kakeru. I'm gonna take a look through these. Reina starts scrolling through the files, briefly checking their contents. She then sorts them by file name and opens up a few of them to read. Reina's mouth starts moving soundlessly as she reads through them. She looks shocked at some parts and frowns at others. The specific kind of AR display Reina is reading right now is called the display sleeve. It doesn't let people behind the display see its contents, so I can't read what's going on. Judging from Reina's expression and the kinds of experiments we already read about, though, doesn't look like much fun to read anyway. In order to prevent third parties from viewing your AR display from behind, to the side of you, the display sleeve is embedded technology that makes AR displays invisible unless viewed from a specific angle.
I mean, why couldn't you just have it, like, personally linked to yourself or something?
What?
Why couldn't you just, like, link the AR display to only display it for you or something instead? That'd be, like... Wouldn't that be possible?
Well, if it's displaying, people around you can look at it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if it's an AR display that you can only view from certain angles, like, why can't it just be like, oh, this only displays on your AR device?
Yes, but I don't know.
Because, like, people can still read it from, like, behind your shoulder and shit.
Yeah. Eventually, Reina breathes a long sigh, stretches a bit, and brings up an AR display from her own MRD. Reina keeps her finger held on one of the files in Kakeru's AR display for a few seconds. The file she selected starts floating a bit above the other files. Reina moves her finger and the file follows it, leaving the AR display entirely. Reina then slides her finger back to her own display. The file splits into two, like a cell dividing, and the copied file slides into Reina's AR display. She then takes her finger off the file and returns it to its original position in Kakeru's AR display. Reina repeats the process, copying a few more of them into her MRD. She stops halfway and asks Kakeru a question. He nods and brings up a virtual keyboard underneath his AR display and starts typing on it. Suddenly, a list of files displayed shrinks. Whoa! Serious Reina-chan is so cool. Serrano looks at Reina with admiration. I guess it should be expected of someone who probably uses these things all the time for research, but Reina is really skilled with her fingers. Maybe it's because of all the accumulated fatigue, but my consciousness starts flickering in and out as I watch them work. It looks like Reina's not going to be done for a while. Guess I'll take a short nap. Practically dozing already, I close my eyes. Is bad stuff gonna happen? Oh, people are happy, though. Hiro-kun, Hiro-kun. I hear someone call my name and I open my eyes. Serrano's in front of me. I fell asleep. Yes, you fell asleep as soon as you closed your eyes. Looks like I completely passed out after closing my eyes. Yes, that is what we just read again. I feel like I haven't slept that peacefully in ages. You fell asleep so fast. I guess it's the real power of someone from planet Sleepyhead. Man, he's like this all the time in college, too. I knew it. Being able to fall asleep even under these circumstances means your body really needs it. What an optimistic way of looking at it. It's certainly a fresh viewpoint. I'm sorry, jeez. Nah, it took me longer than I thought to finish copying everything anyway, so it's better you got some rest. I checked the time on my MRD. It seems like about an hour has passed. So how'd it go? Everything I found was a surprise. Let me organize everything before I tell you. Reina takes the notebook at her feet. She must have borrowed it from Serrano's room and moves it so we can all see. Let me first start by explaining what exactly I worked on. It all started when the JCO approached me, asking me if I was interested in further developing the e-memory technology that Makoto-sensei invented. They wanted me to see if transplanting memories was possible. They told me that if it could be done, then it would help the medical field a great deal. As in, by that, I mean like taking someone's memories and putting it in another body, right?
Yeah. That actually kind of reminded me of something that was sort of interesting. It's like, so I have dogs, and like my dogs had puppies, and I guess what it is that like I had all the images of the dogs saved in my computer, and I moved them to my phone. And one of the videos I had, like, it was of this room, and, like, the dogs matched mine. Like, there was a yellow lab and a black lab, and they were sleeping on the bed, which my dog will do, too, when I sleep in. But I couldn't recognize the room that the person was filming from. So I'm thinking, like, man, I can't remember, like, when I would have recorded that. And when I realized that it was actually, like, one of the dogs, like, one of the puppies that we had sold, someone had showed us that footage. So, like, and I just watched without context. Like, I didn't remember it, but still in my head, it made sense that this was something I had done.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, because like it really bugged me for like a long time. Where it's like where is this? Like it doesn't look like. Because I was thinking like, oh, like maybe it was just like off for like visiting my grandma's house, but it doesn't look like hers or anything like that. So like I wouldn't have known where I had slept in and taken the dogs with me. That wasn't a place I could recognize. So it's kind of like that.
They told me that if it could be done, it would be a great medical field, a great deal
私
of
も
it.
その考え方には賛同したし、ある種の理想も抱いて JCO の研究チーム
I
に
agreed
参加
with
する
those
ことにした。
ideals, and the other members of the JCO research team I joined seemed like they believed in them as well.
I mean, they throw a puppy in a blender every once in a while, but
一
like,
般
no
的
big
なラット
deal.
に他のラットの記憶を移植することを試みたの。
In the beginning trial stages, we attempted to transplant one rat's memories into another's. I was directly involved in that experiment.
この実験では移植元のラットにだけ放射状迷路と呼ばれる装置を
We started by placing the rat whose memories were meant to be transferred into a radial maze and had it learn the route that always led to food.
That's one of those like circular mazes, basically.
A device commonly used in experiments conducted on lab mice. The center of the device is generally used as a starting point, with branching pathways that extend outward radically creating a maze. Food is generally placed at the end of the maze as a reward for the rats or mice. The device is generally used to test creatures' learning or memory.
So it's like, yeah, one where like it kind of has like the rows, like
Yeah,
in
I
the picture. Yeah.
行っていない移植先のラットも
But the way we'd know that if the transplant was successful, a rat that hadn't learned the exit route would still be able to reach the end of the maze without a problem.
結論から言うとこの実験は成功した。
In the end, it was a successful experiment. The rat was perfectly healthy, too.
私たちは次の実験に進んだ。今度はパズが発現しているラットの記憶を移植することにしたの。
We continued on to the next stage of the experiment. This time we tried to transplant the memories of a rat that had expressed the pause gene.
そしてこの実験も成功した。
Did we click express before, or did you...
What?
Did we click express before, or? I mean, the gist of it is that like if you express like a gene for like blue eyes, it means you have blue eyes. But like someone who might have it but doesn't express it, might have like brown eyes or something.
The experiment was successful as well.
さらに移植先のラットは
And this time, on top of just inheriting the previous rat's memories, it also inherited the ability to express the pause gene. Is it pause or is it PAZ? I feel like we came to this conclusion before, but I don't remember.
I don't really give too much of a shit.
パズを一度でも発現したことがある個体の記憶を移植することで移植先の遺伝子発現にも
In other words, we discovered that the memory of having expressed the pause gene was enough to incur a change in gene expression just by transplanting those memories.
That's really stupid. That's like saying like if I have a person with memories of having blue eyes and I put them in you, you'd be able to have blue eyes too.
Yeah, that is kind of dumb.
Yeah. Like, you know, you have diabetes. Well, that's just because you didn't get the non-diabetes gene memory.
You're already doing wacky anime science. Why not just say you put the fucking genes into the rat?
Like, well, because it has to fit in with this dumb memory crap. But I mean, like imagine if like, oh, like, you know, like you had someone, I don't know, and they had like cancer or whatever. Well, you just gotta put in the memories from someone who doesn't have cancer or something. Or like, I don't know, like a peanut allergy or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's stupid as shit.
さらに今度はパズを発現しているラットに対して
Next, we tried implanting the memories of a rat who hadn't expressed the pause gene into one who has.
すると移植元の記憶を受け継いだ上でパズも発現するという
In the end, it retained its ability to express the pause gene even while inheriting the other rat's memories.
つまり移植元の個体がパズを発現していれば移植先にパズを発現させる能力を受け継がせることができ移植先の個体がパズを発現していればパズを発現させる能力を保持したまま移植元の記憶を受け継がせることができる
So if the original rat has the ability to express pause and its memories translated into one that doesn't, the new rat will gain the ability to express it. Furthermore, if the original rat doesn't have the ability to express pause, but it has memories transplanted into a rat that does, the ability to express it is preserved even while obtaining the original rat's memories.
この結果を見たときは正直とても興味を惹かれ
Honestly, this was all very interesting research. I don't think I even remember what the pause gene was all about.
The superpower X-Men bullshit.
だけど
But Reina's expression clouds over.
パズを発現しているラットの実験ではどのような組み合わせでも移植先の個体は全てわずか1週間ほどで死んでしまった
Any experiment with any of the rats had the pause gene expression always ended with the rats dying after 1 week. None of them seemed ill in any way either.
それって原因は分かってるのか
Were you able to find out why then?
いろいろと調べたんだけど、結局のところははっきりしなかった。
We tried investigating, but in the end we weren't able to discover the cause.
だから、この実験をこれ以上進めることは中止して、私のグループは
Because of that, we were told to halt research on this topic, and our group instead shifted to developing microchips for medical use.
Yeah, but like for the whole memory transplant thing, like I can't see that it's just being used for medical things. It's like imagine you had someone that was doing like cutting edge research and you put it into like an 18-year-old who was also taking the same course, you know, field study. It's like now they'd be like a fucking super genius too. They could get multiple lifetimes of research.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Why did this even need to be about the pause gene?
Because
Why?
lightning punches.
Like, at this point, they don't even know the JCO is doing shady stuff. Why would the experiments even need to revolve around the pause gene? I mean, they just sort of said, like, okay, all the rats with the pause gene died. Okay, so maybe we shouldn't use the superpower gene for stuff, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know, let's check the log again to see if they describe it as something special for medical properties, like log. No, it's the very wrong thing. It's tips. Yeah, just the tip.
Pause right there.
Pause.
PSI activation zone. DNA that holds genetic information allow to exhibit hidden potential. Okay, yeah, so it is just the X gene from X-Men or whatever.
Yeah, so like I guess the medical thing is like maybe you can jump high or whatever, and they wanted to get that and to like put it into people.
Yeah, but maybe they should have just started smaller, maybe.
Yeah, and I mean, you could probably just achieve that through genetic engineering as well instead of like memory transplant.
Yeah, I don't know. But Kuroda kept those memories transplant experiments going in secret. Reina points to her next report. Kuroda then tried to attempt the same trials we did on rats with humans.
And then they plagiarized Steins Gate.
It wasn't a safe procedure by any means, so of course issues arose. It was difficult to preserve the personalities and original nature of the test subjects, so they often went on out-of-control rampages. For example, Reina pulls up another report. It's written here that this boy went on a rampage in Fukuoka City, killing 7 people. He was just 15 at the time? These people are monsters. Kakeru looks unusually grim. Well, I agree with him, though. Yeah, they must have had more than one test subject, too, right? Yeah, they need at least one person to take memories out of and another to transplant them into. This report is incomplete, so I don't have precise numbers, but it was definitely more than a few. We're gonna quietly look down for a while before looking up to face us again. Sorry, I'll keep going now. According to this report, they moved to the next stage. After they making sure they could successfully transplant memories, they started working on maintaining a person's personality after the transplant. Reina points to yet another report. Take this report, for example. I look at the picture of the person in the report and gasp in shock. He's... that guy. He's the mysterious guy that kept attacking us. It's his picture in that report. Is this his name? Kakeru points to the word Sigma that's written underneath the picture. Sigma, huh? Looking back at the other reports, all of the other subjects have Greek letters like Beta or Lambda underneath their pictures. They're just there for convenience, to help the other researchers classify the test subjects. I think about him, the man they just gave the label Sigma to. He may have tried to kill us, but he's a victim too. He may have been a victim of the JCO, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he hurt Kakeru and nearly killed me. And, you know, killed a bunch of people, like that random woman he just sort of sliced in half for no reason.
And like 50 fake police officers or whatever.
Oh, who cares about them?
No.
Hiro-kun. Sereno puts her hand on top of mine. Of course, our hands don't actually touch. But even then, I can feel her anxiety. Suddenly, I hear the sound of glass shattering behind me. Oh, no.
Do you want to stop the episode there? Make it dramatic?
Yeah, maybe we should.
Okay, has it been long enough?
Yeah, it has been. Okay,
cool.
We're going to stop the episode here. We're going to see what's going on in the house next time.
So who broke that glass? Will those kitties on the shelves and desks and stuff still be cute next time?
Probably.
Okay, sounds good. See us on the next time, and, you can say that you don't like when we end the cliffhangers, but you keep watching the episodes, so,
Nobody watches this series.
Some people watch this series, they like it.
I do.
Yeah.
Because I edit it.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.